Well, thank you very much for coming out. I know you're all probably very busy people. I know that Linda's a very busy person and running around and doing prepaid legal. What we do is joint ventures. We've been doing it for 19 years with a lot of different people in a lot of different places. So we've made lots of mistakes, as you can imagine. But we have found out what works. Joint ventures is nothing new. Big companies have been doing this for many, many years. It's nothing new. 20% of the revenues of the Fortune 500 companies are from joint ventures. It's nothing new. When Walmart went into Mexico, they did that on a joint venture. So the reason why big companies use joint ventures is because they get their egos out of the way and they work on the business instead of in the business, like Michael Gerber taught us. And they really do very well doing that. In fact, they wouldn't ever make the kind of success or progress that they make had it not been for strategic alliances and joint ventures. We specialize in the practical application of joint ventures for small and medium-sized businesses. We're very result-oriented. So what you're doing as a mastermind is fantastic. We believe in masterminds, and I applaud you. I think it's great that you're doing that. If without the mastermind, the joint venture is never as powerful as it could be. So I think you're doing a fantastic thing. The joint ventures that we teach people to do are very, very practical. But more than anything else, it's a mindset. And it's very foreign to the average business person. Average business person is being conditioned to be bordering on socialism and very, very afraid of asking for money. They like giving referrals. They like hugging people and saying, oh, you should talk to so-and-so, you should talk to so-and-so. But 90% of the time, they don't get paid for it. And the reason why we're in business is not to make sales, not to feel important, but to make bottom line, after-tax net profit. That's why we're in business. There's no other reason why people are in business. If you want to help people, become a social worker. We're in business to make money, and we need to understand that's what it's all about. So if we're in business to make net profit, then we need to focus on what causes net profit. Every joint venture you do should be no money, no risk, and 100% profit with very little time expended. Now, the common problems that we have in business, I'm going to use the PowerPoint for this a bit, but the common problems that we have, is this okay, Sean? Conventional marketing challenges in business. One is seasonality, chicken or feathers, feast or famine, where you really have a busy time and you have a quiet time. So during the busy time, you work really hard, you store up all your money, and then when it gets to the quiet time, you use up all your savings again. And that happens with a lot of businesses, and we need to get away from that. Restrictions and limitations with products, services, geographical restrictions, time restrictions, production, time, market size. These are the kind of restrictions that the average business experiences. And the reason why 87% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years, and then 87% of the remaining 13% fail in the next 5 years, is because of these kind of problems, and mainly cash flow. Also, they don't know how to market. Increasing cost of acquisition, of acquiring a customer. Advertising is getting more and more expensive. It's 3 times more expensive to get advertising, and you get 3 times less a response. So it's costing you 6 times more. Competition, price wars. This is the sort of thing that the average business battles with because of their mindset, not because they can't do it. Limited margins, high overhead, cost of sales, and so the average business is just above or below the line all the time. Most businesses don't know what the acquisition cost is. They don't know what their net profit is. It's amazing that most business people really don't know what's going on in their own business. And they're working so hard to make money that they're losing money. A lot of risk, change, offshore, overhead, competition, a lot of risk in business. And we, through joint ventures, can remove a lot of that risk. In fact, through the years, we found that when people really understand joint ventures, they do less and less in their own business. They do more and more joint ventures because the income from joint ventures is 100% margin. And it takes very little time. There's no cost or risk. So those are some of the conventional problems that we have. Joint ventures is the missing link. And JVs are nothing new to big business, yet only 1% of small and medium-sized businesses understand and use joint ventures. And how do you know that? I often have people saying, oh, I know what a joint venture is. Well, it's different knowing about something and understanding something. So I say, well, show me the last 10 joint ventures you did. Show me how much money you did. Show me that you removed the risk. And then I know that you understand joint ventures. Only 1%. But it is the missing link, and it works very well. So some of the benefits is that you can remove the risk. You don't have to risk in a joint venture. You can remove the risk completely from both parties. We know that 65% of the things you try in business don't work. Well, you don't want those 65% causing you to get sued. And you don't want to lose your shirt. So we work with no concerns. We sleep well at night. Reduce overhead, save time, and save money. Increase your margins, exponential growth potential, and multiple additional income streams into your business, and back end that is 100% profit margin. No limitations. Every resource that you need is already available to you. You can borrow whatever you need. Everything that you need, we don't have thinking problems, money problems. We've got thinking problems. It's got nothing to do with money. Every resource that you need is already available through someone else. If somebody else has credit, you don't need it. You can borrow it. If they've got a reputation, if they've got a database, space, houses, cameras, whatever you need, somebody's got it. So the JV mindset understands that together we can do amazing things, and it understands synergy at a gut level where we can really get whatever we need. And we've been doing this for so long. We do it automatically now. So you really don't have to pay for anything. You can really use this mindset very effectively. So money and credit you can borrow. Databases, groups, reach, access, distribution, reputation and credibility, especially if you're new in the area. If you haven't been in the area for long, nobody knows you, you can borrow credibility. You can borrow reputation. Skills, experience, labor, memberships, inventory, office and warehouse space, goes on and on. Advertising, mailing, time, most important. Equipment, bulk, discounts, internet exposure. You can borrow everything that you need. Now, most people at this point say, well, this sounds a little bit too good to be true. Because if everything that is available, I can borrow it, I don't have to buy it. If I can do business with no money and no risk. And, you know, it just sounds a little bit too good to be true. It sounds almost like if I say to you, well, I've got these two cloths, and if I take these two cloths and I put them into this bag, they're going to come out tied. And that sounds a bit ridiculous. Right? So, but if I do that, you'll see that they do come out tied, not quite the way you expected it. They come out tied. So, you know, we've all been ripped off, right? We've all become a little cynical in our old age because we realize, you know what, things are not always what they seem to be. But part of the problem is this is all real, and it's not too good to be true. The fact is people are not aware of the resources available to them. They're just not aware. So if I said to you, look at, you know, here's an empty bag, you know, just an empty bag. There's nothing in it. So how could I get something out of it? That's empty. But if I drop my podgy little paw in there, and I scratch around a bit, and if I do it correctly, because I'm a little bit retarded with this thing, but if I do it right, eventually, you know, I can get something out of it. Right? Now, but so could you if you knew that it was in there. But you got to know that it's in there. You got to believe that it's there, because if you don't believe it, you're not going to get it. So you just fold up these fresh flowers in this crystal glass, you know, and it's back in again. So now you know it's in there. And if you know that the resources are there, you don't have to go out there and go and buy them and acquire them and, you know, spend your savings. It's unnecessary to do that. So it's very important to realize that the resources are available, and we can prove that to you. A good example is when we came to Canada. We didn't know anybody. Got to Canada, we couldn't even rent an apartment. They said, well, you got no credit record, you can't rent an apartment. I had to get the head of the US Peace Corps from Southern Africa, who's a friend of mine, to fax them in Vancouver, and they sent the fax to the owner of the apartment in Hong Kong, and she said, okay, now they can rent the apartment. But we needed to start doing joint ventures, and we had no credibility, no reach, nobody knew us. So what did we do? We went along to the Surrey Chamber of Commerce. They got a huge membership, over 1,000 people, and they got newsletters going out, they're advertising in the newspaper. So I went along to them. I said, look, I'll come in every Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock. I'll give you a seminar, different seminar, every single week for 3 months on business development. Don't pay me anything. You keep all the money that you charge. If you don't like me, kick me out. We start next week. Invite all your friends, invite your members, keep the money, I'll do the thing. Well, they liked it. We got people coming in. They advertised me to thousands of people. They advertised me to the entire city of Surrey. And it just started getting better and better. And I just waddled in, did my little dog and pony act every Tuesday morning. But then they had the Royal Bank was one of their members. So we said, well, you know, why don't you get the Royal Bank? Kwantlen College has got a lot of facilities. St. John's Ambulance, a small organization there, and the Chamber of Commerce. And they can put together a seminar, and I'll do it free again. How to start your own business with no money and no risk actually means joint ventures. Put 250 people in the room. Well, they didn't trust me, but they do trust the Royal Bank. I didn't have a venue, but they did. The Kwantlen College had a venue. That's St. John's Ambulance was taking the door money, so they told all their donors about it. And the bank advertised me in 91 banks. So within 3 months, I was living off the business, doing joint ventures and doing training and content, all sorts of things. So all I did was I borrowed existing resources. What did I spend on my business up until then? I printed business cards and I incorporated my business. And in 3 months, we're living off the business. So you can borrow every resource you need. You do not have to create it. Now, people say, well, I'm not a trainer, so what would I have done? If I was a new immigrant and I didn't do, well, if you met me and you said, hey, Robin, if I bring you some business, would you give me 20% of what you get? I would have said, sure, I'm a new immigrant. I'll do anything. It's money I wouldn't have had. What can I say? And then you could have arranged that talk with the Chamber of Commerce. You could have been sitting at home watching the History Channel, because hard work is history to joint venture brokers. And I would be out there doing my dog and pony act in the rain every week while you sit at home and collect the 20%. You'd be the smart one, I'd be the hard-working one. So you can leverage my resources as I leverage the Chamber of Commerce resources. So everything you need, distribution, whatever you need. I'll give you more examples later on. It's very simple. In your own business and outside of your business, you can do joint ventures. You can increase your own business and profits and create additional income from outside your business using JVs. So whether you have a business or not doesn't matter. In fact, if you don't have a business, you probably make more money. What else do your clients and friends want and need? If you can link supply and demand and get paid, then you're like a toll booth, and every time that transaction takes place, you're making money. So as a broker, that's exactly what you do. Make money helping people to achieve their goals. You don't have to sell anything. I go to the doctor. Doctor doesn't say to me, well, let me tell you how many babies I delivered last week. I got a pretty wife, and I studied for so long, and, we got a special on hip replacements this week. If you're interested, he doesn't do that. He listens to me, finds out what I want, and then he directs me in the direction of the solution, and ka-ching, he gets paid. So as brokers, we're not selling anything. We're basically finding out what do you need and linking you up with what you want. So what are you offering? As a JV broker or as a JV person, you help people to make more money, get more business fast with no money and no risk, and they pay you for results. They don't pay you for promises. It's not advertising. When it comes to advertising, we do contingency advertising. Somebody comes knocking on my door and says, hey, we can do advertising $3,000. I say, fantastic, $3,000 for advertising? Let me ask you some questions. First of all, are you the decision maker or are you the rep? If he's a sales rep, I'm not going to talk to him. But if he's a decision maker and he's selling me advertising, radio, whatever, I'm going to say, fine. Let me ask you this. You know my business. You know your media. Do you think if I paid you the $3,000 that I would get 20 sales, whatever I'm selling, just as an example? What is he going to say? Sure. Sure, right? He's gonna, I can't guarantee it, but I'm sure. Oh, yeah, sure. So if you and me, you do this, definitely guaranteed. Okay. How about I pay you $6,000 instead of $3,000? Well, why would you do that? Because this is what we're going to do. If you're honest and you would have done it, then do it. You put the advertisement in at your cost. You have all the responses coming to you. You send me the responses so you can track the results. I'll pay you commission, and if we do get the 20 sales that you suggested that I can get, you're going to make $6,000. And if we don't, you're still going to make $3,000. So you've got nothing to lose, unless you were lying about the 20,000, right? The 20 sales. That's called contingency advertising. It's very easy to do if you're talking to intelligent people, but it does work. Okay, so you solve other people's problems and you get paid to do it. That's all you're doing as a joint venture broker. It's very simple. It's not difficult. Look at that. The money just rolls down. See, now this photograph I must tell you about. I'm not just a pretty face. I get sent this by a certain person by the name of Rebecca, right? Sends me this photograph. She says she found it on the internet. I say, listen, I don't know about this photograph. I Google, I search everywhere. But she was teasing me because she'd created this photograph. I sent it to my mom in South Africa. She says to me, that's not you. You got small little podgy hands. This one's got big hands. She just superimposed your face. Not easy. Not easy. So, specific action steps to take. First of all, your mindset. You've got to forget about you, what you want, your product, your cash flow, your goals. Nobody cares. I found out last week. I cried myself to sleep. Nobody cares about me. They're not interested. You see these guys going to these networking meetings, and there's great people that go there, right? But it's pathetic. It's a sad thing to see. Because all these little egocentric, self-employed salespeople standing up with their business cards, their pathetic little elevator speech. Hello, my name is Donald. I'm a tailor. I'm just downtown. If you're looking for a suit, come and see me. You know what? We don't need this guy. We can find the suit. You know, hello, I'm a real estate investor. You know, there's 10,000 real estate investors. So what? I know one already. But we're all trying to sell one thing to everybody else. And while he's doing his elevator speech, everybody else is thinking, can he buy what I got? Can he buy what I got? It's ridiculous. I go to a networking meeting. I shut up about me because, as I said, this epiphany that I found out nobody cares. I don't talk about me because I know they don't care. I talk about them. What are you looking for, Klaus? Klaus says, well, I got this fantastic golf thing, and I want to distribute it. Excellent. And tell me, Klaus, if I can bring you business, would you give me 20%? And Klaus is a smart guy. He's going to say, jawohl, no problem. And I'll say, ausgezeichnet, thank you very much. And then, what will I do? I'll just link him up with distribution. And if he sells something, I make money. And if he doesn't, we're still buddies because he didn't lose anything. And sometimes it doesn't work. We know that's the real world. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. So you got to forget about yourself. Start solving problems. It's got nothing to do with me. Nobody cares. And it's a shock to find that out. Come on, my boy. You must do what I ask you to do. Come. Get sincerely interested in identifying the problems and goals of other people. That means you really got to genuinely be interested. Tell me about your life. 3 wishes. Genie leaps out of that bottle, gives you 3 wishes for your life. What are they going to be? What does everybody say? 3 wishes. What do they say? Money, health, and happiness, right? Okay, money. What do you mean by money? How much? By when? What are you going to do with it? Why do you want it? What are you going to buy with it? Really drill down. Oh, health. Why do you want to be healthy? And by when? And how will you measure that? And how will you know when you're healthy? And happiness? What has to happen in order for you to be happy? So when we really start getting interested, you start finding what his hot button is, what he really wants, and then you deliver on the hot button. But you don't think, oh, everybody wants money. That's ridiculous. You know, there's a lot of wealthy people. They're doing it for the game. And there's other things that are more important. The dog might be more important. The kid might be more important. It could be a holiday. There's a lot of different hot buttons out there. So it's a little bit of psychology, but it really works well. This thing is on strike. Okay, a JV broker builds a bridge between supply and demand and becomes the toll booth. That's really what we are. That's the toll booth. You stand over here, the money comes to you, it goes through the toll booth, and you make money. And that's all it is. It's a very simple concept. But we have to ask if we want to get. So we have to demand that we get paid. We have to set it up that you're going to get paid. If you don't do that, you're not going to get paid. Establish your strategic criteria for suppliers. Suppliers are the people that are going to pay you. I don't want to recommend somebody that I don't like or that I don't trust or that is going to rip my clients off. And so we had a problem. We thought, well, you know, how do we find people that we can trust? Because we weren't finding them that easily. So I was doing consulting to try and find people to do joint ventures with. But that wasn't working that well either. So February last year, we started a joint venture forum, little club, and we said, you can join the club, but you've got a code of ethics. We're going to teach you to do joint ventures. Join our club, but if you disobey yourself, the code of ethics, we will fire you. And I fired 7 already. We've turned down 42 applications. And I think we've got 465 members around the world now. But these people are our joint venture partners, so that's how we found it. You've got to be very selective who you deal with. And you've got a whole group of excellent people here to work with anyway. So, what industries, what geographic and industrial areas and segments do you want to work in? What do you like? What do you feel comfortable with? What areas do you want to work with people in Australia, in England, in the States, here? What do you feel comfortable with? So you want to be very, very selective. And then what kinds of products or services are you comfortable doing? Because you also want to be able to cross-sell them and bundle them. So if you've got good people out there, good suppliers, you can cross-sell those suppliers and look for compatibility. Ensure diversity, avoid seasonality while looking for options to cross-sell and upsell between the suppliers. So if you've got 2 suppliers and each one's got 1,000 in their database, you know, that's a great opportunity for you to triangulate a deal. So you can start cross-selling them. So you want to be very selective about selecting your suppliers. Don't just grab anybody and get access. So next, get access to businesses that provide excellent services and products and who understand reciprocity and capitalism. Will be very selective. Do your due diligence. Make sure that you don't get involved with the wrong guy because it's going to cost you. These are your income providers or your suppliers. And our goal is to create multiple streams of passive income. And that's what we do. Use their sales and marketing tools and resources. They have marketing tools, sales tools, resources, seminars, conference calls, DVDs. All that stuff is available to you from the suppliers. So you have access to that. You're not going to become a salesperson for them, but you're going to be aware of what they do. This is a joint venture that JV Wisdom, that Sean and Rebecca set up with escapeartist.com. They took my book, Joint Adventures, created an ebook out of that. And escapeartist.com sells my ebook off their website. The ebook is tracked back to their website, JV Wisdom. So they make money on the ebook, but they make money on the back end. When people have bought the ebook, they go back to their website, and that's where the money is. So they're getting the ebook distributed through other people. And we did that with my book with a gentleman in one of our members in England, Michael. He distributed the book, and he sent it out to a few people. And he said, if you like us, give it to your database. 800 people downloaded it in 2 days. That would never have happened, but you just give away stuff. Give it away, and you make your money on the back end. It's not on the front end. Establish your agreement. So having identified the suppliers, create a memorandum of understanding with them. People always ask, do you need a contract? You know what? You can have the thickest contract. It can be a telephone book contract. If people are dishonest, they're going to rip you off, whether you've got a contract or not. You know, so it's not about making the lawyer rich. It's really the most successful people that I do business on a handshake and a memorandum of understanding. And we'll go through that just now. Very simple, very easy. Make sure you understand. No misunderstandings down the low. And before you make that connection, set up your memorandum of understanding. Make sure you both understand the process of referrals, tracking, and payment. Remove the cost, remove the risk, and get it in writing. What will we do, right? Who's going to do what in this agreement? Are you going to do this? I'm going to do this. So you've got an action plan so you can manage that process. And people have got to put it in writing so they don't misunderstand later when they get lazy. Why will we do it? What are we trying to accomplish? What is the end goal? So we can be flexible. We can change what we're doing as long as we get to the end result. That's what we want. And then how are we going to do it? Exactly what is the process going to be? How long will we do it for? Is there, is it going to end at some time? Is there an exit strategy? Or how long is this going to go on for? How long are we going to pay for? Is it all my joint ventures, you pay me forever? Because if I'm paying you a check every single month, I'm going to be having your attention every single month. And sooner or later, you're going to come across opportunities to refer me, and you're going to make more money. So we like to pay commission. We pay generous commission. We pay forever. There's no end to it. We don't think in terms of scarcity. When are we going to do this? When are we going to start? When are we going to end? How and when will people get paid? Are they going to pay on gross, on net? They're going to add tax? They're not going to add tax? How and when are you going to get paid? Are you going to send me a check? Are you going to make it out to my company, to me? What's going to happen? And how will we track it? Okay, the tracking is actually easier than most people think. Spot checks work well. Exit strategy. Be specific. Okay, next, identify the needs, and don't double dip. What I mean by double dipping is when I set up a deal between Colin and Sandra, right? And I'm making money on both sides. What I'm doing now is I'm making that process very expensive. And I don't think it's ethical to do that. So if if Sandra needs a product or service, and Colin has that, and I link them up, I want Colin to pay me. I don't want to get it on both sides. It's very dangerous to do that kind of thing. So double dipping is bad. So find out what people want. Work within the demographic or psychographic models of your chosen suppliers. So if your supplier says to you, I want to deal with baby boomers that live in Alberta, that's where you want to go and access those databases. That's when you want to get, that's when you're going to find the people that are going to buy. The whole thing about JVs is very simple. Most businesses out there, most businesses are vending machine businesses. And a vending machine business, let's say for example, that this bag, let's say that this bag is the business, right? It's just an empty bag. And the bag says to you, well, we've got products and services that you can buy. And we're pricing that particular product or service at, let's say, at 25 cents. Anybody got a quarter? I know it's all wealthy people. They just got $100 notes.
It's going to disappear in that bag, too.
Well, that's why they hesitate. These are smart guys. Thank you very much. They had a mastermind meeting. They decided we're not going to give that bald swine any money. He's an ugly-looking man. Okay, so thank you very much. Did I get it from you? Okay, because good guy. So he gives me 25 cents, right? He's buying a product or service. I put the 25 cents in, and what is he going to get? If he's lucky, he's going to get what he paid for. He's going to get the 25 cents right back. So there's no magic to that. But if you're a joint venture broker, and you say, how can I differentiate myself? How can I give him even more than he paid for? Well, then I got to start thinking. Let's say I go to a restaurant. We've just been to a restaurant. Let's say we go to a restaurant. There's a lot of competition for restaurants. And they all do the same thing. You know, it's all pretty, you know, my name is so-and-so, I'm your servant. It's all great, but there's no differentiation. They all look the same. You close your eyes, you don't know where you are. What would happen if the restaurant owner or the restaurant manager understood JVs? Then he'd go along to an upmarket. Let's say he's got a nice restaurant. He goes along to an upmarket salon, beauty salon, and he says, would you like more customers? No cost. Sure. Okay, this is what we'll do. If we can drive people from our upmarket restaurant into your salon, would you like that? Would you give them a free facial, free pedicure, free slap, or something, free, nice, give us a nice gift certificate, and we'll issue that very selectively to the ladies that eat in our restaurant. Would you like it? And they come in. If they like it, they're going to come back, and they keep on buying. And all we want to bring you this new customer is 10% of all the money they spend down the line. Now, if that salon owner understands the back end, and if they're intelligent, they're going to say, great balls of fire. He has 200 gift certificates, and you can give them out in your restaurant. And we will pay you 10% on the back end. Now, what if they don't pay you? You've still lost nothing. Right? You've still got thousands of dollars to give away to your customers. So now you've got from the salon, and you've got from the yoga class, and you've got from an accountant, maybe gives a free consultation, and a business consultant, and all these things. And then you train your staff, you train your waitresses and your servers how to issue these things. You know, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Elliott. Thank you so much for coming in. Did you enjoy the lobster thermidor? And was your filet mignon delicious? And, you know, as a thank you gesture for coming to our restaurant tonight, for you, madam, here's a gift certificate worth $100 for facials and pedicures at our salon. And for you, sir, here's a free consultation with our business consultant. No obligation. You know, thank you very much. Nice envelope. And it's paid for by the business. So no money or no risk to the restaurant. Now you come along and you say, 25 cents for the steak. Cheap steaks in Alberta, it's amazing. But 25 cents for the steak. And I say, well, that's fantastic. You know, there's a good return on investment. Thank you very much for the 25 cents. That's a good return. I'm not going to give it all. It's all my you know, how am I going to get home? I'll never get home. So all you're doing is you're adding value. But the good news is that this stuff doesn't cost you anything because somebody else is doing it. Right? And the way it works is it's just a little change bag. It's got 2 bags inside. See, so there's no magic to joint ventures. It's very easy. I'm too stupid to do real magic tricks, so that's what I do. So when you set up the JVs, come now, my boy. Make the connection between supply and demand. Always do it in writing. Manage the process on an ongoing basis. You have to manage it. You can't stand back and think that other character is going to do what they said they're going to do, right? Because if they were so smart, they'd be like you. So we need to manage the process. We need to monitor it, manage it, make sure it's working, and develop multiple JVs running consecutively. So you can have many, many JVs running at the same time. We've got JVs running in Australia, South Africa, England, the US, and Canada consecutively. And these people are working with us, and they're doing the work. That's their time, and we make multiple streams. So monitor your JVs. Manage them and monitor them. Are they working? And do they need adjusting and fixing? Can you enhance them, add a back end? Can you cross-sell? What do you need to do? Should you continue or should you end those JVs? And successful joint venture brokers become money magnets. Come now. Money magnet. Right? The reason is that you position yourself as somebody that solves problems. You position yourself in the business arena as somebody that is there to help. So when you got stuck, go and talk to Colin and Sandra because they're going to sort you out. You've got a problem, you should talk to them because they can find, they got leads, they got connections, they're going to link you up and they're going to help you to get what you want. And so as you position yourself, you really do. Unity is strength. Together we can do amazing things. You know that from the masterminds. I'm preaching to the choir now. But the fact is it's got to go beyond getting the idea. It's got to get to implementing and then getting paid for it. And that's when it starts really getting exciting because it's nice to make money. This is a very simple, silly little example, but it's a good example. Rika and I, my wife and I went into a coffee shop, and we saw this thing. There's 12 little compartments. It says, display your business cards here for $5 a month. So he's making $60 a month from that restaurant. Well, here's what he did. He went to the restaurants, and he said to the restaurants, I'll put this box in your restaurant at no charge to you. All the people that have got cards in there, they have to come into your restaurant to replace the cards. And usually, when they come into the restaurant, they sit down, have a coffee, have a muffin, because they worked so hard sorting those cards out. You know, imagine putting your cards in a box. So you got 12 extra people per month, every month, coming into your restaurant at least once a month to replace their cards. So the coffee shop doesn't pay him. It's got 100 restaurants doing that at $60 each. That's $6,000 a month passive income. And he only sets it up once. We went into a restaurant where they had a folder. They had a little salt and pepper set that you can buy in the dollar shop for $1. You know? And this guy went to restaurants and he said, we will give you a free salt and pepper set for every table. And then he sold advertising in this little flyer thing. He sold it, and they paid per table, per restaurant. People were paid to advertise. So he was getting the advertising money. The restaurant is getting free salt and pepper set, free crude set. Now, you can do it that way, or you can be intelligent and pay them more, pay them to put it in there. Right? You know, there's so many resources. Think of when you go to a restaurant, what do you do while you're waiting for the server, while you're waiting for your food? You've ordered it, what do? You read. And what do you read? You probably take a book there, but most people sit and read the menu and get more and more hungry, more and more frustrated. You know, what about if you sold advertising in the back of the menu? They're selling it in the washroom. Why not in the menu? That's the obvious place. You get to the end of the menu, and there is an advert for the spa. And now you get all excited about the spa, but then the meal comes along, and you dig in, and you're eating away. Well, it gets to the end, the maitre d' totters up, and he says, good evening, madam, and here's a little gift certificate for you for that spa that you're reading about earlier on. Ka-ching, it's a done deal. She's been pre-sold, and now she gets the opportunity to go there. So it's really not rocket science, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. This is a joint venture we did with a big charity in Vancouver. We said to them, we run this boot camp. We train people to do joint ventures, $500 each. I do them every month in Toronto. But we'll do one in Vancouver for you. We charge $100 each. And you can keep all the money. You know, so they put a whole lot of people. They do all the advertising. They pay for the Hilton. They set everything up just like us. And I waddle in and I do my little dog and pony act and I spend the day working. You put 200 people in the room. They're making $20,000 for the day. They get everything sponsored. You know, it's a charity, so they don't pay for the media and stuff. Where do I make my money? On the back end. I make my money on the joint ventures and the memberships and all the other stuff. But there's no cost of marketing to me. Right? And their sponsors also benefit from it. So running other joint ventures concurrently means you don't have all your eggs in one basket. You're not lying awake at night worrying, is this going to work, is it not going to work? You get into a position in life where you can know that the joint ventures are going to come to you. You know how to set them up, and you know how to monitor them so you're getting paid, and you don't get frantic. If somebody stops paying you, you cut them out of your life, you walk away, you never do business with them again, but you don't lie awake because you've got other alternatives. And so you create the passive income that is more than the income you need to live on. But if you're doing it yourself, now you're all, you know, youngsters compared to me, but you know, the older I get, I'm 53 now, the older I get, I find I'm very vulnerable, you know. I mean, Rebecca pushed me down the stairs earlier on. I managed to survive. But you know what? Just for fun.
Speak nice.
Just talk for the camera. Just for fun, as I get to the back, bang in the back of the neck, I go down the stairs, you know. Luckily I survived. But it could have, you know. No, she would never do that. She's a wonderful person. But just imagine, you know, somebody else. I could be hit by a truck. And if I can't work, walk and talk and do my little thing, most business people, most small business people will go bankrupt. They don't have any passive income. They like to think they have, but they don't have. So we want to run concurrently. Remain flexible, because you often find out that people know more than you do. Right? We don't know as much as we like. So if you're flexible and you're open-minded, people are going to say, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? You know, Sean and Rebecca, jvwisdom.com, they came to me and they said, you should do this, you should do that. One of the things you should do, Robin, is videos. And I said, videos, you know, we don't need videos. We got podcasts. I'm not as smart as they are. They had to educate me, you know, and it's been great working with them. They're fantastic people. But they had to show me something. We don't know everything. So remain flexible, remain open-minded, get the old ego out of the way, continue to seek links and value, build solid relationships. And often you'll find that it doesn't work the first time, doesn't work a second time, but we stay friends, We work around that and build a solid relationship. When it does work, you make good money. Get involved and contribute. And create multiple streams of passive income. So, build a bridge between supply and demand. What do you want? So, here's a simple, very simple example. You know the Arbutus Club in Vancouver. We had a members meeting at the Arbutus Club. On the one side of the room, and I want to give you specifics so that you can believe me that it's true. One side of the room is a guy by the name of Taz Morphopoulos. I don't know if you know Taz, but he's taken 5 companies public, and now he's doing another one, and he's looking for money. He's looking for investments. On the other side of the room is Lawrence Leibowitz. He's another one of our members. He's got access to a lot of investors. So I said to Taz, you should talk to Lawrence. So first of all, I found out what did Taz want. Asked many questions. I drilled down. I found out exactly, plus his level of motivation, what he was looking for. So I believed in what he's doing. He's a member. I know him. I believe in what he's doing. So what do you want? The second thing was, what do I get? What specific commission structure? How much? When? So you got a memorandum of understanding. Before anything else, that was in place. Then I said, see, it's only 4 words every time. It's only 12 words. What do you want? What do I get? You should talk to. What do I want? What do you want? What do I get? You should talk to. Very simple. 12 words change your life. You should talk to Lawrence Leibowitz. Taz waltzes across the room to Lawrence, and he says to him, I'm looking for investors. 3 weeks later, Lawrence's investors give Taz $500,000. Lawrence gets $42,000 in commission. I get 25,000 shares in the company, which is worth now about $34,000. So $34,000 net profit because I said, what do you want? What do I get? You should talk to. Now, it doesn't work every time, but when it does work, ka-ching, and there's no cost, no risk, no time. So when I say this, we actually do this. And when I say that all the resources are available, that's true. I mean, when you think of the property market, property prices are going up like a rocket all over the place. It's fantastic. So people have got a lot of equity. And they're not using the equity because they're smart people. They're not going to use it just because they got it. Or would they? See, we know a guy in Vancouver does bridge financing. He pays 24% commission on money that you lend him. So we set it up. We say, fine, I'll tell you what, Rebecca. You talk to Lawrence. Talk to Colin. Colin's got all this equity in his home. He's got lots of money. Why don't you suggest to Colin that he can get 12% on his money? So Colin takes his line of credit from the bank, 6%. He gives it to Steve. So Colin gets 12% a year on his money, and he's paying 6%. So he's getting 6% a year on the bank's money. Now let's say it was just $100,000. That means he's making $500 a month on the bank's money. Plus, Rebecca is getting $500 a month on the bank's money. It's 12%, 6%, and I'm getting 6%. So that's the 24%. So Colin's bank's money is earning him $500 net, Rebecca $500 net, and me $500 net. If you do that 10 times, you get $5,000 passive income a month. And that's what we do. It's not hard to do that, but it's hard to find a guy like Steve that you can actually trust that's not going to run away with the money. And it's hard to find people that actually get the stuff. But there are thousands and thousands of people that have got equity that they're not using, that you can leverage. So when I say you don't need credit, it doesn't matter. Somebody else has got it. All you need to do is ask. We have not because we ask not. Get paid. That's the last one I forgot, the last one. Get paid. Don't forget. Like I say, you can work in a toll booth or you can own the toll booth. Working in the toll booth means you're an employee or you're employed in your own business and you're a self-employed salesman. Owning the toll booth means you're a broker. We don't have money problems, we've got thinking problems. So, there's the toll booth. Every time the car goes across, ka-ching, comes back, ka-ching. It's easy to do that. I was in Toronto. We were riding on some toll booth in Toronto. They've got a thing in the car now. It goes beep, beep. It says that's $12. Wonderful. Beep, beep, $12. Beep, beep, $12. Every time. Thousands and thousands of cars going through. It's fantastic. So focus, action, and integrity. That's what it's about. Focus on high return, passive, repeat business. Always high return. I mean, if you want to go and do a joint venture with a pizza guy that's selling pizzas, you're not going to make a lot of money. And it's going to be a lot of work tracking all that. But if you did a joint venture with somebody that's selling real estate or a jeweler or somebody that's got high margins, that makes sense. We had a jeweler come to us, and the jeweler said, she's in New Westminster in BC. And she said, we want to increase our sales. So we said, well, here's a thing that you could use. It's called old telephone numbers or old URLs, same thing. If we know that 87% of businesses are failing, they're going out of business, and a lot of them are leaving, they're leaving VC to come to the land of the wealthy, into Alberta to make some real money, but they're leaving. But they've all advertised their telephone number in various publications and all over the place. So I said to her, get your secretary or a school kid or somebody to go through the phone books 4 years back. Phone all the jewelers 4 years back in your area. And eventually, what happened? She found a person that had the number of the jeweler that had left and gone to Kamloops or somewhere. And this lady said, well, I'm not a jeweler, I'm Mrs. Smith. I'm sitting in a high-rise, but I'm getting calls every day for jewelry. Ka-ching! Doubled her sales in a few months. Because all they did is they got that telephone number ringing at her at a jewelry shop. Now, if you don't have a jewelry shop, could you still do that? Sure. We can all read the telephone book. We can all phone jewelry shops. And you find one, you just go and do a deal with a jewelry shop. So you just get them to get the calls and buy the telephone number, relay the telephone number, relay the leads, whatever. That's a technicality. But strategically, it works. So you can do this with a multitude of businesses. You can do the same thing with URLs. www is not being used anymore. Somebody set it up. It's getting good traffic. Nobody's using it. You get that thing. It costs you $7 a year or something. Sean, it's $7 a year, I think.
Depends on the site.
No, but I mean, if you're just buying the URL.
Right.
Cheap. So
How do you find URLs like that? How do you get URL?
find it. Sorry?
Go to GoDaddy.com.
Yeah, you can go to GoDaddy, but also if you know a business went out of business and they were quite successful, then go and search for that URL. Again, look for the advertising that they're doing, and think of a business that was doing well. But like, it's so easy to do this. You're looking for sites that have already got traffic, right, that had a lot of traffic, and people are still going there or whatever. Anyway, so focus on that. Deliver what you promise, right? Trust is built on actions. Talk is cheap and money buys the whiskey. People will follow the tongue in your shoe before they follow the tongue in your mouth. People want to see that you do what you do. And we know in our society that there's a lot of shysters out there that tell you a lot of wonderful stories. And they're not all honest. So we've got to be very sure that when we say we're going to do something, that we do it, because that's the only way you're going to build trust. If you don't return your calls, if you make people wait before you return your emails, you sit on your cell phone during meetings, that's very bad manners to do that. Put people on hold. I do my boot camps. So I do this. I say, is anybody in this room, if I've ever put you on hold, I'll give you $1,000 right now. I don't even know how to put you on hold. I would never do that. It is bad manners to do that. And you don't build relationship by putting people on hold. You put me on hold, I put the phone down, you're not getting back to me for a while, right? Because you're insulting me. So you don't build trust by doing it. But if you build trust by delivering on the small things, remember, operant conditioning is reinforcement of behavior. Right? When we get somebody that earns a commission, even if it's $50, we send them a check for $50 in a thank you card. It says thank you on the card. We got little gold dollar signs. You remember the dollar signs? We stick them in the envelope and we mail them a check for $50. And if we have to do that every day, we'll do that. We want to get them. They must be getting checks all the time. So we love paying commissions because we're locking them in and we're proving to them that they can trust us so that they go ahead and do it. And earn the right. Earn the right. Cause reciprocity. So, for example, I spoke to a big group of real estate investors. Navtash Chandok has got Prague, a professional real estate investment group. He's one of our members. And every month I speak at his group. And we had about, I think, 100 people in the room. And I said to them, how many of you are looking for investment in real estate? Let me ask you, anybody here looking for real estate investors? Okay. I said to them, now, a lot of you all looking for real estate investors. But you have to differentiate yourself. You have to show that you're trustworthy. You have to look the part. But the most important thing to get investors is not to go and try and knock on doors, find them one by one. That's like picking grapes one at a time. You want to pick a bunch of grapes at a time. So find a center of influence, somebody that knows a lot of people, that is trusted and liked. Find out what their hot button is. Build relationship with them. Deliver value. Create reciprocity. And then ask them to do what you want them to do. And set it up. Say to them, this is what I want you to do. I want you to passionately and enthusiastically and consistently market me using my tools to your database. Now, for you to do that, what will it take? What do I need to deliver to you in order for you to do that with me? Up front, in writing. Not, well, when I think about it, I might send it out. No, I want to see it. I can track it. You know what a lot of people do? You might not know this, but there are people out there that will say, oh, we'll send an email to our entire database. They send you an email, but they don't send any other emails. So you've got to track. You've got to phone your people and say, did you receive that email? You've got to make sure they do send it out. So when you work with centers of influence, you can reach thousands and thousands of people. If you're giving away stuff, like we give away our ebooks. We give away our ebook. My book is now in French, English, and Spanish. And we give it away worldwide. And we give away thousands and thousands of ebooks. It's all linked back to members' replicator sites. So they are incentivized to give the book away. It's viral. People like it. They read it. They give it to other people. The member makes a commission when anything happens, when they go back to their site. So earn the right. Don't just expect people to do things. Join others for leverage and surround yourself with winners. Now, you're already doing that. You're already surrounding yourself with winners. You're working synergistically, building relationships, educating people. That's fantastic. So you've got a very good start. You've got much more than most people have. Most people don't even know what a mastermind is. It's funny, you spoke about Think and Grow Rich, Colin. Often when I speak, I say, how many of you read Think and Grow Rich? And a few people put up their hand. Very few people really know what it is. They've learned, third hand about masterminds, and they're pretty confused about it. So you've got a lot to offer, and I think you're doing a very valuable job. Okay, minimum time, no risk, no cost, and maximum income. Everything you earn is 100% profit in joint ventures. So I like holidays. Yeah, I like holidays. I really like holidays. To me, travel is a hot button. Freedom and travel. I love that. Because when you travel, you get educated, and it's great. So, and with my business, we go to Hawaii. I take my laptop with me, and we work from there. You don't have to be somewhere, so I like it. But everything you make in a joint venture is net profit. And if you set it up that other people are using their resources, and they've got the businesses, they've got the inventory, they're dealing with the employees and the customer complaints and the inventory, they're doing all that stuff. All you're doing is motivating them, managing them, and linking them. And so it gets better and better. We had one woman, she's a sponsor. She sponsors my flights to Toronto every month. So that helps. So she said to us, she's a travel agent. She paid $15,000 for a travel agency. And she said, you know what, Robin? She says, I found this travel agency thing, $389. She said, you get all the fam trips. You know what a fam trip is, where these travel agents go and they're going to stay at the Windsor Hotel now. It's 6-star or something in Vegas. It's better than Bellagio. $65 for 3 days, including all the meals. The rooms are $350 each, cheapest room. So the fam trips are really good. So $349, you can double your money in 30 days. I said, that sounds a little bit too good to be true. Long story short, I got involved in this, and then she got involved. She made $4,000 in her first 29 days or something, 23 days. So I would never have found out about that had it not been for Sandra. Now I go to all my people and I say, by the way, have a look. So I'm leveraging my resources, but I'm also helping them to do that. So I would never have known that had I not known Sandra. Sandra wouldn't have known it had she not known Paul and Fresno. So those connections are very, very important. And there's a lot of stuff I don't know that you know. So when you come to these mastermind groups and you're learning all the stuff, it's a very valuable investment. And I know that you're paying $10,000 a year. That's nothing. It's cheap. 10 grand a year that they charge is cheap. Oh, it's even better than that? Wow, that's amazing. That's a good deal. Okay, so this picture on the left here is really, it's a graphic depiction of a real network. In fact, so university did this, and they even do that. They can do that of the World Wide Web. They can do it of the internet. So they can depict any kind of network, and they can depict the way it grows. And there's a way that it grows. How many of you read The Tipping Point? Okay, that's a good book, and it's amazing because you need the mavens and the salespeople and the connectors, right? But this is what happens. So as soon as you create a network that is creating value, it's going to start growing. The thing is, you want to develop a financial aspect to that as well, so that all those deals are generating money for you as you go along. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is our biggest problem when it comes to joint ventures? Biggest problem, sorry? The person himself. Right, the mindset, right? So I would like 4 brave volunteers to please come up to the front, risk their eyesight. No, not really. 4 brave volunteers. There they go. Thank you very much, sir. One for you, one for you. Anyone? Thank you. Please look through these $1,000 glasses
$1,000.
at the $20,000 flashlight that I have right here.
Hi there.
And tell me what you see. No, got to look at the flashlight. No, look here. Other way around.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so what do you see, madam?
I see USA.
USA?
I see flames.
Okay, if you look again, it's something called a maple leaf.
Oh, yeah.
You see it now? It's not, those are old glasses, that's why. Hearts, she's in love.
I see an upside down cat.
Upside down cat, supposed to be a happy face. I don't draw very well. You see it now?
Sure.
Okay, so please swap the glasses, have a look at the other glasses now.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
See, they're getting old now, so
Okay, do you want to try?
see, USA? Okay, so please swap your glasses.
That is very cool.
Okay, do you see the maple leaf?
That is very cool, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got USA?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So,
Okay, thank you very much. Give them a big hand for being so brave. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So the reason why we all look at the same opportunity, everybody looks at the same opportunity, we all see something different. And the reason is our conditioning, especially if you've been to a lot of academic training. A lot of that is very socialist. In academic training, it usually leans towards socialism, anti-business. The fact is that we see things differently, although really in real life, it's all about the money. So as a joint venture broker, we give you a very special way of looking at things. And so to illustrate that, these are the kind of glasses that I like to wear as a joint venture broker. So, wonderful. Okay. So I see the dollars. Yeah. We bought these things for $2 in a dollar store. And the guys in Toronto went nuts. So we went back and we bought about 30 pairs, 30 sets, and they're gone. We can't find them anymore. No, these are our friends. We should have. But we just gave them. But the thing is, you've got to look at that opportunity as seeing the value. Now, some people have a problem. They say, well, it's not right that you get paid for not creating value. You are creating value. You know, you're removing the risk from the transaction. You're solving problems. You're linking people up with other good people. You're building relationships. And it's exponential. There's no limit to the way that site can go. The way that it can link up, it's viral. And the best part about that is that good people bring good people. Good people bring good people. And we pay for everything. We don't expect anything for nothing. We believe that there should be value both ways. So there's a nice reciprocity going on there. It's not a one-sided thing. It's not an ego thing. It's like, I don't need you because I know everything. Nobody knows everything. It works very, very well. But the reason why it works well is because there's unlimited amount of people. There's unlimited amount of money. There's no shortage. So together, we can do amazing things. But the reason why we don't depends on three things. The first and the most important of all of these is the mindset. And that is the most difficult thing to break through. We have a one-day boot camp. We have people coming on that thing. The first day, it's 12 hours. Right? So they come on it and they think, wow, that's great, all this information. They don't do anything. They come on the second one. A month later, they go boot camp 202, and they come back on that one. The third boot camp is when they get it, most of them. It takes them three full boot camps before they really start to understand the stuff. Because it's so foreign, because it's so different to the way we normally do business. And I ask them, do you normally refer people to each other? Like, it's a great restaurant, and you should watch this movie, it's so good. We do that all the time. You're looking for a house. She's a great realtor. A realtor came to me in Vancouver. She says, if you bring me a buyer or a seller, I'll give you $75. I said, who do you think you're talking to? Is this Mother Russia? You make $7,500. I get $75. Go home. Go back to Moscow. I mean, please. Where do you come from? Really, in BC, it's different there. They think joint venture is something you smoke. I mean, it's amazing. No, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Yeah. They did a survey. So 53% of people in BC have smoked pot at least once. I'm not surprised. But
I think a lot of people are lying.
yeah, at least once. But the fact is, they're good people. The fact is that people give away referrals all the time. They say, you know what, you should talk to this one, talk to that one. They do not demand the money. They don't say, I have to be paid. And you know what? If you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to give you business even if I've got it, because I'm a capitalist. I expect to be well paid. Now, there's another thing people say, well, if 20% is high. We were with SMI, as you know, dealership of SMI 20 years ago, 19 years ago. And we would pay 50% commission, and everybody else would pay 20% commission. And they all said to us, oh, 50%, that's a bit over the top. You must be desperate to pay 50%. Well, when we went to the convention, all the distributors arrived with their sales teams. Most guys had 3. We had 18 salespeople because we're paying 50%. So we could, not only did we get the smart ones and the good ones, but we also got a lot of them. So, go figure. They got 3 and they're paying 20. We got 18, we're paying 50. I've paid 75% commissions already because of the back end. So let's think about the back end. We all know what the back end is. The back end is when the carpet cleaner goes out and he's cleaning the carpets, and when he's finished, he says, sir, thank you so much for allowing me to clean the carpet. As a thank you gesture, you're probably looking for other services. Here's a discount voucher for electrical work. If you ever need a good plumber, my friend is giving me a gift certificate for that. Here's a discount or a free evaluation, a free consultation. If you're ever looking for drapes or if you're looking for interior design, if you're ever looking for that, here's another gift certificate for that. And the agreement is that if any of those people use the services, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching every time they use it. So now he's developed a back end. If he does that correctly, he can do free carpet cleaning. Plus, he wants to build a regular passive income. So if he says to me, thank you for allowing me to clean the carpets, he said, I know what it's like. You get busy, you don't have time, and the carpets get dirty, and you only clean them when they're too dirty, or you got people coming to visit you. When you get all embarrassed, and then you get the carpets clean. So you know what? We got a very special deal for you, Mr. Elliott. What we're going to do is we're going to put you onto our auto payment thing. It's $20 a month. Every 6 months, we're going to come in and clean your carpets. Every 6 months. You just sign this thing, $20 a month, and if you sign it right now, I'm going to give you $500 in coupons and gift certificates, and we can take care of that right now. Every 6 months, we're going to come in, automatically clean your carpets. You never have to worry about it, $20 a month. Now, why don't they do that? Because nobody told them to do it. But now he can sell the business because he's created ongoing cash flow coming into his business. So it's going to work. It's a very simple process of working. We had a guy, one of the seminars I did in Toronto, after the seminar, he mailed this thing to me. It says, when you're looking for the best, give me a ring. And it rings, right? So I emailed him back. I said, well, thank you very much. It's very nice. I like that. Could you tell me where you got it? He won't return my email because he's into scarcity thinking. He thinks I'm going to become his competition. I'm also going to give away these strange little cards. If he was a joint venture broker, what would he have said? You look on the back, there's a number. He would have sold them to me and made a profit. Or at least been kind enough to give them to me because there is no shortage. People that fear the competition. It's amazing. There's certain networking groups, not mentioning any names, where they only have one realtor, one financial planner. Why would you do that? Just imagine there's 2 realtors, right? 2 realtors. They each have a closing ratio of qualified leads of 2 out of 10, 20% closing ratio, right? What would happen if they said, we've got all these good buyers, qualified buyers that want to buy a house, we've got a certain amount of listings, how about we cross-promote our unconverted leads? So I've got 2 out of 10. The 8 that I don't close, when they walk out of this door, they're going to go to another realtor and they're going to buy real fast. So we're going to swap them. So they agree, okay, you give me your unconverted leads, I'll swap them with you. Excellent. I'm sitting down, I'm the realtor, I'm sitting down with Pat. Pat sits down, I say, Pat, you know what? I'm so sorry. It's taken 3 weeks we've been working together. I really like you. I've tried to find you a house that you like, and I just couldn't do it because I couldn't find a house with turrets and that, the armor that you wanted and all this, the horse in the front. I couldn't find it. But you know what? Not to worry. I know a really great lady. Hang on a second. Pat, pick up the phone. Hi, Susie. It's Robin. Susie, I've been sitting here with Pat. She's a great lady. I've been working with her for 3 weeks. I can't find a house with turrets and a horse in the front. But, you're a great realtor, and I'd love you to help her because she's really becoming a friend now. So, Susie, talk to Pat. Pat, here's Susie. Give her the phone. Bang, done. Pat sends up the appointment. Susie sets up the appointment. Pat goes along. Pat buys the house. Now, here's the statistics on this. This is amazing. Do you know that if you're closing 2 out of 10 on the ones that you're getting, these are qualified leads. I'm not talking about tire kickers. You're closing, so you're getting 2 out of 10. Did you know that the 8 unconverted leads, the closing ratio on those, if you do it this way, 50%? Wow. So now, instead of closing 2 out of 10, she's closing 6 out of 10. Now, as a broker, I don't want to go and become a realtor. I've been a realtor, believe me. It's great, but I don't want to do it again. I don't want to become a realtor. I don't sit in an office and put boards up and things like that. All I do is I just connect the 2 realtors. I say, if I can bring you unconverted qualified leads, would you give me 20%? Sure. I go to another realtor. If I can bring you unconverted qualified leads, would you bring me 20%? I find 10 of them. Then I say to the realtor, I'm going to give you, you're going to give me your unconverted leads, right? And I'm going to give you 10% if it closes. But I'm getting 20%. So I take the lead from John. He gives it to me. I give it to Peter. Peter closes it. I get 20%. I give 10% back to John. So John's winning. It's money he wouldn't have had. I'm getting 10% from John's work. And it's not hard to do it. It's just a different way of thinking. What did you say is your most valuable resource? Your most valuable resource? Time. Right? There's nothing more valuable than your time. Because once it's spent, it's spent. Spending time is like selling your digits, selling your fingers. You know, how much can you sell them for? You're going to run out of them. So if this is my time and this is my day, I go out and I can invest my time into my day every day. At the end of that day, you know what's going to happen. Right? There's no more time. It's gone. You can't say, well, maybe I'm going to get my time back. You know, let me have a look. Oh, yeah, my time's coming back. It's not going to happen. Once you spend your time, it's gone. So do not spend time. Use your head, don't use your hands. But the thing is, it's not magic. Joint ventures is not magic. You know how this thing works? False thumb. That's it. All you do is you put the false thumb onto your thumb, and then you hold that thing like that so you don't see it. And then I put that into my hand, and then I say, when you spend your time, I'm just putting it into the thumb. Right? And then I put my thumb in there, and I say, you know, look, it's gone. But there it is. You just don't see it. So there's no magic to this stuff. It's very easy to do. I've got another trick, a really good trick, but I don't have it here. It's a milk trick. That's a good one. And Rebecca kindly went out, caught the cow, captured the cow, wrestled it to the ground, milked the cow. Oh, no, that was a problem. She milked the cow, gave me the milk. I've got the milk right here, and I left the jug at home. Now, that's ridiculous because it's my best trick. It's the only time I really get your attention. But you know what? Doing business without joint ventures is like having the milk without the jug. There's just no magic. It's hard work. And that's why the business owners are so frustrated. That's why they get nasty. That's why they get aggressive. And that's why they make even less money, because they're working alone. They're trying to do it all alone. And the good news about joint ventures is you've got to be paid so people respect you and they take notice. They're not paying easy come, easy go. Now, let me ask you a question. Just imagine a business that took 9 months to get to an income of $4,000 a month. Logically speaking, conventional business, how long will it take that business to go from $4,000 to $20,000 a month if it took them 9 months to get to $4,000? Sorry? No, it took him 9 months to get to 4,000. Now he's got to get to 20,000. How long is it going to take him? 45 months. 2 months. Why is that? Okay, well, you can get out, but now I don't want to get out. So I'm saying, no, you're not getting out. So you got 9 months to get to 4,000. It's going to take about 24 months at least to get to 20,000. It's going to take a long time. With joint ventures, you can do it faster. This is what happened to me. I was training hairdressers. That's why I have such a lovely head of hair. But what I would do is I'd go to the hairdresser. I'd say to them, look, we can double your profit in 2 months or your money back. How would you do that? Well, all that we did was we got a lot of nice upmarket businesses to give away free haircuts. Right? This exactly the kind of clients we wanted. They'd get free haircuts. They'd come into the salon. They'd come back because he gave them good service. And within a short while, all the chairs were full. Once the salon was full and working at optimal strength, we would then go to our joint venture partner businesses, and we'd give them to issue us with gift certificates. So when the people come into the hair salon, we'd give them stuff for yoga classes, and we'd give them 20 different coupons, very selectively hand out these coupons with hundreds of dollars. They'd go along to the other suppliers, and these other suppliers would pay us on the back end, including jewelry shops and all sorts of things, right? So as a result of that, we can double their sales very quickly in 2 months using joint ventures. After 9 months in this profit center, I had $4,000 a month from 4 salons, right? 1,000 each. Then I gave a talk at Haute Coiffure, a whole lot of hairdressers there. And a guy came up from the back of the room at the end, and he said, my name is Maxim Kroc. You know the Kroc sisters, Epi Lady? Same family. Guy's a billionaire. He owned the Red Ken hair product for the entire country. And he said to me, we want to get our product into more salons. That's what he wanted. We want to get our product into more salons. And you want more salons to train. So if you agree to only train salons that use our product, then we can get more product, people that want you, they've got to buy the product, and we will promote you. So there's no cost or risk to you. The salons are paying you. We'll promote you. Now, Red Ken was a big company. They had a lot of sales reps. They had reputation, very well connected, hair shows, the whole deal. And he just went to his sales team. He said, tell the salons they can get Robin if they buy our Red Ken product. 4 days. So I didn't have to walk away. 4 days. 4,000 became 20,000 a month. Now, that's the power of joint ventures. The problem was I was selling time. Right? Like, used joint venture to build my business, but I was selling time. I had a back end, by the way. I don't normally mention that, but my back end was making more money than that. But the fact is, I was selling time. Now, if let's say, for example, you're a joint venture expert, you knew me, and you knew Red Ken, what could you have done? You come to me, you say, hey, Robin, if I bring you more salons, link them up, triangulate the deal. Robin, if I bring you more salons, would you pay me? Sure, 20%? No problem. Okay. And you, Mr. Red Ken, Maxim Croc, how much will you pay me on all the products that you sell into all the salons that we open up for you over the next 4 years? Ka-ching! I would have been writing you a check for $3,200 a month, and he would be writing you a check for a lot of money. You'd be sitting at home watching the History Channel. For hard work is history for joint venture brokers. And that's what we do, and that's what we've been doing for a long time. But it really works because it's simple. It's not rocket science. It's very straightforward. But you've got to understand human nature, and you've got to understand the other business. Here's an interesting fact. We're in a nice hotel. I've stayed in this hotel, very nice. Do you know in Whistler, BC, you know the rooms are quite expensive. Guess what the average room costs in Whistler, BC? The average hotel room costs the hotel. This is not according to me. This is according to a hotel expert in Whistler. And I was a hotel manager for years, so it's very accurate. $18 a night. That's what it costs the hotel. Now, if the hotel really understood business, which they don't, believe it or not, they could say, we're going to give you a room for $30 a night. Because where's the money? Eat in the restaurant, go on tours. It's all on the back end. They're in the bar. They're using the facilities. And if the hotel starts selling that back end, they'd be making money. Sorry? Vegas does it. But you see, Vegas has got brains. Vegas has got money. They understand business. You know, Whistler does not understand business, believe me. You know, they don't get it. Otherwise, they'd be doing it. Vegas, they give away the rooms because the average person going to Vegas loses $500. Plus, you need a compass when you get there because you know you get lost in that place. I mean, I get lost going home, but you get lost in those casinos because they want you to gamble. So they want people to fill the rooms. They get it. They understand it. But the average person does not get it. So if you could impress and educate the restaurant owner or the manager, hotel manager, you could say, look, give me your rooms for $30 each, and then you go out and you sell the rooms for $60 each. You're making money, and the hotel's making money. In the restaurant, the food cost percentage in the restaurant, average restaurant in BC, is 32 to 33%. That's what the food costs them. So that means that they're making around 68% profit on a plate of food as an additional profit. So if the restaurant's already running, everything's paid for, the waitress is already there, everything's working, they're making 68%. You go to a restaurant and say, hey, if I bring you people into your restaurant, would you give me 20%? They're going to say no. But if they understood business, they'd say, sure, 20%, no problem. Then you go to your Rotary Club and you say, I got a good restaurant for you to eat at. You get your Rotary Club to eat in that restaurant every single week, ka-ching, 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 every week, 20% of the bill. And so this is not hard to understand. I mean, it sounds very simple, and it is very simple. The people are just not doing it. But the fact is that you can do it, and the reason why you can do it is because you're giving them what they want. You have to get them to tell you, this is what we want. This is what we want. You really want that? On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want it? Anything less than 10, I'm not going to deal with them because they're half asleep. But if they are serious, then I say, fine, if I bring you that business, what am I going to get? So what do you want? What am I going to get? You should talk to. And then we link them up. So let's use a simple example. Think of Klaus. Klaus has got this fantastic golf opportunity. What do you want? You want distribution of your product, right? The best way to distribute product is through licensees, franchisees, business opportunity distribution. That's the best way to distribute something, because then they pay you to work for you. And you can give them the cost back in retail. So, when you sell the stuff, you get all your money back, sort of thing. But what's the best way, the fastest way to sell a product is through groups. That's the fastest way to do it. And people want to have fun. They want an excuse to play. They want toys. So the fastest way to do that is find centers of influence that have access to a lot of people, that have the same demographic model, then give them a really compelling reason. And often that hot button, that compelling reason has nothing to do with money. Often it has got nothing to do with money. It's amazing how few people are really bottom line money driven. It's what the money is going to buy. And you can often deliver that at much less than most people think. How many of you are familiar with barter and trade? Trade dollars, barter companies, okay? You have to understand that to use it. And if you're interested, you can email me and I'll send you a trade manual from the company that I worked with. They've got Trade Exchange Canada. They've got a nice manual. If you want one, I'll send it to you. Did you know that there was a guy in Hollywood? It's a true story. There was a hotel in Hollywood that was going bankrupt. And they were selling the hotel for $1.5 million. It's a long time ago. For $1.5 million, you can buy this hotel. So the guy went along. He got hold of somebody that buys gift certificates. He buys trade things. He brokers this kind of stuff. He issued gift certificates with the permission of the hotel. Issued gift certificates or coupons for rooms and food worth $3 million. He sold it to the broker for $1.5 million. He took the $1.5 million. He bought the hotel. Now, he's got $3 million out there in coupons and gift certificates. The breakage on that is at least 40%. Guess what you're not going to believe this. The guy in Toronto told me this, and he knows the business. Guess what the breakage is? In other words, the amount of mail-in rebates that do not get renewed in Canada. Guess what the percentage, and I guarantee you nobody's going to guess it. I couldn't believe it. In Canada, what percentage do not send in the mail-in rebate? Maybe 97%. In the US, it's 40%. In Canada, 97% never get sent in. So this was in the States, so 40% breakage is exactly what he told me. So out of that 3 million, 40% is breakage. They're not going to use it. Now he's still got the rest is out there, 60% of 3 million. But it's over 5 years it can be used. So as the price of food goes up, the value of the coupon goes down, he makes more money. His food cost percentage is 32%. The room is less than 5%, it's 10% maybe. And the booze is less than 32%. And he's got his back end. Once the guy's in the hotel, he's going to buy other stuff. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to trade, to use trade dollars, and to do that kind of thing. Do you know in North Van there's a place called Easy Wash? You familiar with Easy Wash? It's a car wash. I think it's on Main Street. The guy that owns it is one of our members, and he belonged to Trade Exchange Canada. So he said, we need more money for building and all these kind of things. So he went along to Trade Exchange Canada. It's a true story. And he said to them, I need more money. So they said, okay, let's make it RRSP eligible. So it's RRSP eligible. The guys use their trade dollars. 90% trade, 10% cash. In 4 days, he raised $250,000. 4 days. 90% trade, 10% cash. He used the trade dollars with the construction guys to do his construction. 4 days, didn't cost him a cent, because we know that there's a dearth of trade dollars out there. But if you know how to use them, you can get trade dollars for 15 cents. One of our members, Michael Senoff, hardtofindseminars.com in San Diego. I think he's in San Diego. He can buy trade dollars 15 cents on the dollar. That means that you are literally buying things at 85% off retail. In Australia, you can get a cab on trade. Australia is very entrepreneurial. So the fact is, trade's not good for everybody. You've got to look at your cash flow. You've got to look at your ratios. But bartering products and services is a smart way to do business. Now, somebody said to me, he said, the reason why people in Alberta don't want to do joint ventures is because they're doing so well. They're all so rich. They're making so much money. They've got oil sands. They've got, they're stinking rich. The restaurants are closing because they can't get enough people. Everybody in the world knows that you guys are all millionaires. So I said, well, that's great, because when I go there, I'm going to take a collection. Please, some money. Please. Thank you, brother. Thank you. No, but the good news is that that's not true, because joint ventures all you're doing is you're leveraging your existing resource. It doesn't take time. I know you're all busy making thousands and thousands of dollars every day, but this doesn't take time. This is a phone call. This is, you should talk too. That's all it is. We had a members meeting the other night also in BC. And at the end of the members meeting, we only had 15 people show up. Small members meeting. And one guy was whining. He said to me, you know what? He says, that wasn't very useful. 15 people showed up. We had to drive all the way to Vancouver. It cost me a fortune. I said, well, I made $2,000. He said, what? $2,000? 15? I didn't make anything. So I said, well, one of the members there is sitting with all these RSP dollars, making like 3% on his RSP money at $35,000. And we've got a guy that's got a really good RSP eligible investment. It's a real business, and it's doing very, very well. I know him personally. He's a good friend. And it's RSP eligible. He's doing 17.8% annualized return over 5 years on RSP eligible money. So isn't that great? You know what? In addition, he gives me 10% of all the money I bring in. So I said to this member, you got 35 grand? Tell you what, this is the deal. You take it to this boy. You get 17.8 annualized return over 5 years, and he's proven that it's a track record. Plus, I'm going to get 10%. I'm going to share that 50-50 with you. So you're going to get $1,750 on your RSP money, which is nice. You pay a little transfer fee. This is not a lot. And you put your money there. So I got $1,750. He got $1,750. Plus, I get a residual monthly amount every month. So I made a minimum of $2,000. And all I said was, because he was talking, I didn't go try to sell the thing. I just listened. I'm just listening. And I hear, wee, 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 wee. So is that a baby crying? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Oh, no, it's you. Oh, you're crying. What's wrong? No, RSP. So I said, you want to make 17.8% and 5%? Yes. Talk to Craig. Here's his number. Here's his email address. Give him a call. I email Craig. Expect a call from so-and-so. It's done. Now, anybody can do that. And I said to this guy, I said, you weren't listening when that so-and-so gentleman was talking. You were talking about yourself, about your wonderful training, and all this. And nobody cares. Nobody's listening. Like you haven't gone put on mute. But if you listen to this guy, you know the other guy. You could have linked that up. You could have made the money. Got 2 ears, one mouth. Shut up and listen. Look who's talking. But the fact is, it's true. So on my business card, at the back of my business card, I've got a Peter Drucker saying. It says, the best way to predict the future is to create it. You know, the biggest problem that business people have is they're so busy complaining. They complain about the government, they complain about the rain, they complain about everything, but they don't take responsibility. And when we take responsibility for the circumstances that we've got, then we can change it. Then we can go out and make things happen. And then we can say, well, you know, if it's to be, it's up to me. I'm going to give myself a checkup from the neck up. I'm going to pop out there and go do something. But the biggest problem with that is we're not very teachable. And I often have people saying, oh, I know about joint ventures. Well, if you knew, show me the last 10 you've done, and then I'll believe you, and then they can't, right? Some can, but most can't. So what we do is we say to people, look, if this represents what you want, if this represents the lifestyle you want, bought by the money you want, through joint ventures, because I don't know anything about, you know, I'm really not as great, I don't know a quarter of as much about masterminds as you do, so I could never do what you guys do. But we do understand this stuff. So we say, well, if you start off with that, just pretend you've got a blank book, right? You're not used to doing it. You haven't done joint ventures before. We know what you need to know. We've got systems in place that are proven and tested. We've been doing 19 years. And we'll give you a track to run on so that you can have the pictures to color in. If you like me, I'm not very artistic, so now you know what to do, right? And then all you need to do is go and work. Now, work is a 4-letter word to a lot of people. We know that. But if you're prepared to implement that stuff, we'll support you, we'll look after you, and then you get the pictures that you want. But again, you know, there's no magic to the thing. So if this lady would please be so kind as to stand in front with us. Now, I promised Sean I was going to do pole dancing for you later on, but I left my outfit at home. So if you wouldn't mind, just hold it there first. Then you hold it at the top, and then you hold it there. So first the bottom one. Now show the people now. Hold it, no, hold it there and open the book like that.
Oh, the whole thing.
Okay. Let it go open.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, now the top. No, let it open.
Okay.
There, that's right. Okay, good. Okay, now the middle one. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now the middle one.
And then the middle.
The middle. Thank you very much. Give her a big hand. She's now official magician. Very good. See, so there's no magic to the stuff, right? Any idiot can do it, and that's why I do it. But the fact is that we need a track to run on. As I said, the most difficult problem is to find the right people, is to get the change in the mindset. The second one is to find the people. To find people that are like-minded, that understand you got to pay your way, you got to pay commissions, you got to be responsible, you got to be reliable, you got to be professional. And we do that through our membership. The third thing, and the most important thing, is taking action. That you got to try and you got to fail, you got to make mistakes and bounce back, but you're not going to lose any money. And the biggest incentive for that, I find, is for people to actually have a goal. To say, how much money do you want to make per month, passive income, and how soon do you want to make it? And that is going to drive you to follow that goal as you do in your masterminding, and go and make it happen. But you got to do it through leverage. So that's what I found out. We earn within 10% of the people we spend the most time with. So if we're spending time with people that are earning a little bit of money, we're going to earn a little bit of money. So we go out, I find people that are more successful and smarter than me. That's why I come to this group. And I can learn from all of you. Right? But as long as you're mixing with the right people and you've all got a common mindset, the sky's the limit. So what I'd like to do now is give you a little exercise. And the exercise is the following thing. In your business, whatever you are doing, what is it that you really need to get? What is it that you're looking for right now? Okay, so if you think of that, you don't have to write it down, just think of it, what you're looking for right now. What is it that you really want, that if you could get that thing, you'd be a happy camper. And you're prepared to pay commission for it. Whatever it is, you're prepared to pay, you're prepared to share the love. Okay? Now, who has got a birthday in February? Anybody? Okay. You the only lady? Well, then you win. So please come and sit on the chair. Okay, if you've got a... Okay, normally let me say the 15th, and then we find the closest date. Right? Okay, I'm going to pull the chair away, so it's going to fall over, everyone's going to laugh. No, not really. Okay, so please tell us what it is that you want.
Right now, what I need a really great graphic designer.
I have one.
Wait, there's more than that. Who needs to get me an invitation, all ready to go by Monday?
I have one.
Okay, and that's exactly what I wanted to illustrate. Thank you very much, my dear. That's exactly the way we normally respond, right? I have one, which is great, because we know that whatever need you got, we're going to meet in this room. Guaranteed. Right? You know that from Mastermind that it's going to work. Here's the edge. Sandra is a smart lady. So she's going to go along to the graphic designer, and what is she going to say?
I can get you some business.
Yes.
Based on the fact that you have to have this invitation ready by Monday.
Yeah, so if you can do this, what am I going to get? So Sandra's going to say to the graphic designer, this is the offer I've got. I've got somebody, she needs a design. She can pay for it. She's good for it. It's got to be done by Monday. If I can bring you that business, number one, can you deliver? Number two, what am I going to get? Then he says you're going to get 20% or whatever it is. You get a memorandum of understanding in place. And then you say you should talk too. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, who's got a birthday in March? Okay, Colin. Oh, somebody else who else has got a birthday in March? Okay, all the March people, who's on the 15th? Who's close to the 15th? Sorry? 12th. Anybody closer than that? Not? Okay. Colin, please take the hot seat and tell us what it is that you're looking for.
I'll tell you a little bit about what I did in class today. We did a video shoot of golf training aids, and I'm looking for ways to find people in the golf industry to market this to. We're setting up a new website, should be launched tomorrow.
So people that are in the golf industry that are associated with golfers or golf retail?
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying, well,
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Okay. Anybody know anybody? Okay, so now let's pretend now that nobody knows anybody in the golfing business. Right? Now the next thing is to say, if we bring you that connection, what's in it for us?
We have a membership site that pays a $15 a month commission for every person that signs up. So
Good.
yeah,
Okay, what does it cost them to sign up?
it's $30 a month. So we pay 50%.
50% commission, a man after my own heart. That's great. So this is the way it works. Let's say none of us know about this guy. We all have databases, right? If I know that I'm going to get 50% or $15 a month, all I have to do is go to my database.
I got the contact for you.
Excellent, okay? But now I'm pretending you don't have. Okay, so pretend you don't. All we do is we go to our databases. We all email our databases. We say, we desperately, urgently need connections in the golfing industry. Now, I've got a big database, and I'm sure we've all got databases. We just have to agree to do that. But normally when you ask for that, there's no financial incentive. So we all say, yeah, no, great, we'll do it, and then we go home and forget about it. But if there's a financial incentive, we're going to go to our databases, and we're going to solve your problem tomorrow. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so you agree that's a simple principle? Okay, so it's just an illustration. So thank you very much, Colin. Who's got a birthday in April? Okay, two of you. Okay, who's on the 15th?
28.
Sorry?
28.
28th? Elizabeth? The 2nd and the 28th. Which one is closest to the 15th?
28.
28th and the 2nd.
The second is.
The 2nd closest?
Wow, that's really cool. Where's that quarter? 28.
No, the quarter's missing. It's gone. You got $5. Okay, so come on, dear. The hot seat. It's hot. Actually, you should put a heater in there. Make it really hot. Okay, and what are you looking for?
I'm looking for so much.
Okay.
I'm looking for you.
Okay, what are you looking for? I'm right here. So you found me. This is not very exciting, I'm afraid.
I'm looking for qualified leads.
To buy what?
Yeah, I guess to buy and sell real estate.
To buy houses?
Any kind of real estate.
Okay, so
So,
you're looking for investors.
qualified lead.
Qualified leads, buyers and sellers.
Okay, for real estate in Edmonton.
Anywhere.
And
For real
but-
estate internationally. Doesn't
And
matter.
what kind of commission do you think if they find you something?
Well, that's the problem because it's illegal to pay. It's illegal to
Okay,
pay.
that's a great one. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, but you
Don't go
know
away.
what you could do.
Okay, don't go away. Let's talk about that. A lot of people have got controlling bodies, right? And it's true. A lot of the controlling bodies, they have to protect the public from all sorts of scammers and weird people. So they say you're not allowed to pay commissions. Or the money that you pay is not allowed to be in direct proportion to the money earned. And this is the way we control. But it's semantics. And we've been doing this for a long time. The fact is, it's semantics. So are you allowed to pay a marketing fee?
Yes.
Yes. Are you allowed to pay for advertising?
Yes.
Yes. Can you pay for consulting?
Yes.
Done deal. It's not can you pay it, it's what do you call it when you pay it.
Okay.
Okay, and it's the same thing. When I was selling business, I sold businesses for 18 years. We sold that coffee shop, Bojangles on Falls Creek, $500,000. But we're selling businesses, right? And you know what the first thing I said? Oh, you can't sell businesses unless you've got a realtor's license. So if you're a business broker, I said, I'm not a business broker, I'm a consultant. Okay, no problem. So it's just
well,
semantics.
You know, it's funny because you'd be interested in the business that I have. I actually hire retired real estate agents and hold their licenses. And then what we do as retired real estate agents is we take our past clients and then we refer them out to realtors
Great.
so that we can pick up the 25% fee, right? Because
Excellent.
there's
Yeah.
in the real estate industry internationally, it's pretty much 25% referral fee. But because we're still licensed,
Right.
in my company, we can
Yep.
legally collect it.
Good. Okay, so now you're looking for people to buy and sell properties, right?
Right.
If people don't know you, they're not going to bring you the business. If they know you and trust you, it's going to work. So there's two ways to do it. The one way is to say, I'm offering this commission. Everybody says, great, we can make some commission. The more effective way is to find the centers of influence in the room and then push their buttons so that you give them more than the commission, because people have got other alternatives for commission. So you will get their attention to some extent on commission. But if you meet somebody like Colin that has had 10,000 people in his database, and he's got a lot of stuff going on, so it's not a priority for him to bring you leads because he can make them the same or more somewhere else, and he's used to that. He's got a lot of options. If he's got a lot of options because he's successful, then you need to say, okay, specifically and exactly what does he want? You make that golf connection for him, And now he's going to be interested in helping you. He's going to reciprocate. Okay, so you've got to work strategic, like a chess player. You've got to be very strategic. Because if he's busy and successful, which he is, he's got the access, but you're not a priority. So you've got to make yourself a priority. And you make yourself a priority by giving him what he wants. Then he reciprocates. Now you become important. After the fact. You sow before you reap. If you reap before you sow, you're a thief. But if you sow first and you got him, you own him, that's when you give it to him. That's when he's going to reciprocate. Okay, so find the centers of influence, create massive reciprocity, push the hot button, then offer the deal, and then they bring it.